if it works, right? So I can't wait to share with everyone how you started in the business.
Yeah, it's a long story, but I'm
Yeah,
here.
but we're going to go there. So, welcome back to Claim Your Throne Queen with Alejandra Arroyo. I don't know, but I know a lot of people know you, but I don't know that they know your story. And everybody has a story. So, let us know. Tell everyone how you started in the business.
So I started 3 years ago, actually almost to the date. I think I got my license the last week of August.
Oh, wow. Look at
Yeah,
that.
so I think this is my week of
Love
my
it.
3 year anniversary. It's crazy. It's been so quick. It feels like it was just yesterday. I sat there one night working. I worked 15 years in Hackensack Hospital.
Oh, my God. 15 years.
15 years. I started when my daughter was one, and I said I needed a night job, and I worked there, and I was very loyal, and I wanted to just kind of.
So, where were you working
I was working in
overnight?
the department of the emergency room.
Okay.
Yeah, the emergency room department,
Oh
and
gosh.
yeah,
Okay, so you got all the walk-ins, emergencies, and
all the walk-ins, all the emergencies, just very, very. There's no words to describe working in an emergency room.
I know.
It's never the same. Never, no two nights are the same. So
wow.
yeah.
So were you in the same position all those years, or
No, I started as a clerk.
okay?
I went up to the admissions department. I went to school for nursing.
Oh my God.
I loved the whole nursing field. I tried it. I didn't. I just didn't continue. For me, I always wanted to be in business. I like psychology. I went to college for psychology as well.
Okay.
That's where I wanted to originally just focus to become a psychologist. But you quickly realize in college that to be a psychologist, you need a lot more than just your bachelor's.
Exactly.
So I have 4 kids, and it's a lot of work.
That's
a
a
lot of
lot.
work, just raising kids.
I can relate because I think I took the nighttime gig at one point in my life because of my kids as well. I mean, I don't know how many people really want to go to work at night.
Yeah, no, I remember I was 23 and I Googled, I didn't want to leave my daughter. I didn't want to leave her. I wanted to be a stay at home mom. And I said, how can I be a stay at home mom
Yes.
and work? I was like, I
Okay.
don't know if it's possible, but that's what I want.
That's it.
And because I obviously needed to work, and I Googled and it said work overnights. And then I was like, but I don't want to just, any job. I want a
Right.
professional job. And I was able to do it. I was able to work all night, 11 p to 7 a.m., come home,
Yes.
prayed, and my daughter woke up at 9 a.m., got 2 hours of sleep. And then I would wake up 10 a.m., 9:30 a.m., 2 hours, and then be up till 7 p.m. and then back to work at 10 p.m.
That was tough.
It was a good 5 years of my life.
So I think that in so many ways, this job prepared you to what came next.
Yeah, it was, I always felt and I always was told in the hospital, like, Ali, can you help me with this? Alejandra, can you do this for me? And I'm always very, I don't know how to say servicial, very, just always very helpful.
All about service.
Service, super service oriented. I love helping people. I love seeing, the outcome of it. And it was just always in me. And I always knew that there was more than just a healthcare environment for me. Like,
Of course.
and one day during COVID, when COVID began, it was super scary. There was not one coworker of mine, friend of mine, that was not scared to go in and be there. But it was something that we just,
Oh my gosh.
it just was sprung on us, and we had to get through it. And then one night it was just really quiet. I remember that night, every single patient was intubated.
Ooh.
The entire ER was intubated, and there was just nothing for us to do but just make sure that they were, okay.
Right.
Made it through the night, and I said, well, I'm sitting here, I'm not doing much. I said, I was like, this is my opportunity. And I just Googled again.
There's always something that pushes you, right?
Yeah.
And we don't have to name names, but I just remember you saying there was something that really moved the needle for you. Do you remember that you asked the question and they kind of said to you,
Yes.
like, yeah,
I do. I remember I asked my supervisor at the time, I asked him, I didn't want to sit in the ER all night because there was nights that you were wearing a mask 16 hours, 12
Right.
hours, 8 hours. It was a lot.
Yes.
And I wanted to just kind of step away at times. And he was like, well, you kind of got to push through. And I don't know what it was. It was just, I just felt it in me. And I was like, you know what? This is my time to jump.
Exactly.
And it just moved me. Like, they just didn't want to let me go days. It was very hard. I guess not, I shouldn't say they didn't want to let me. It was
Right.
just, the help was needed at night. And for me, working overnights was just,
That's it. You've done it for so long.
I paid my dues. There's people who I know, my friends of mine that have been in the business, did healthcare 45, 30
Yes.
years working overnights. But for me, I am a night person, but
Right.
you don't have much of a life when you have kids and you work nights.
Exactly. And that's when the guilt and everything else starts coming in, right?
Exactly.
Because as mothers, we're like, I'm doing this for you, but at the same time, I don't have time.
Yeah, my kids always said, Mom, you were always home but tired.
Oh,
And that sucked.
I
It sucked
know.
hearing because I was like, I wanted to be there, but obviously you can't be both, and you got to sleep. I would hear people say, I'm so tired. I'm like, you have no idea. I've been up 30 hours. I've been up 42 hours one time just to like be there for my kids.
oh my God. No, I hear you.
Yeah.
So then you start Googling
I
and
Googled.
you make the decision.
I went back to school 2 years prior to me becoming a realtor. I went back to school. I wanted to finish another degree. I wanted to just push myself. And then I said, you know what? My kids are about to hit college soon. I said, me in college, them in college. I don't know how this is going to work.
But it's going to work.
Fine. I mean, I know I can do it.
Of
We all
course.
do it. But I was like, that's just not, I needed something quick. Something that would really push me, but still be what I wanted.
Okay.
And real estate has always been something that I wanted. I wanted it when I was in my early 20s. I had someone tell me, it's expensive, it's hard, it's not for you. I hate it, and I listened.
And you listen. Oh my God, we have so just similarities. I know.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you listen, don't listen.
Yeah, no, it was, but I wanted. I remember
Yeah.
thinking, I can do this. I can do it. I was early 20s. And then I tried it again, maybe in my early 30s. I thought about it again. And then I said, you know what? I'm not going to tell no one.
That's right.
I'm just going to stay quiet. I Googled the best real estate school in Bergen County.
I love it.
I paid it. I signed up. I was like, oh, well, even if it's my last dollar, I just paid it. And I
Oh
said,
my God, I
I'm
love
doing
it.
this. And I came home and I told my husband, I said, well, I'm in real estate school. He's like, what?
I did it.
And luckily for me, I have a husband who's super supportive. And
Yes.
he's like, well, I'll take care of the kids more. I'll come home earlier. Like, I'll let you sleep more. Like, and I got COVID. I got COVID the week that I signed up.
Okay.
It was a blessing for me,
Right.
that I had a very mild case of it.
All right.
And I was able to be home for 2.5 weeks.
And you just went through your course.
And I literally got COVID days after signing up.
Oh my God.
So I was able to do my course like while sleeping nights.
Yes.
It was
I love
just
it.
perfect timing. I passed my exam and then I jumped in. I didn't know not one realtor. I didn't have one connection, not one lender. Just threw myself in this business head first.
I love it. So what would you say your first year? What was your first year like?
Oh, my first year was challenging.
Okay.
I can't say I loved it. It was a moment where I remember when we did our oath for the Bergen County Realtors, the Board of Realtors. And I remember via Zoom, they made us raise our hand and swear in our
Yes.
and they said, well, out of 100 of you, maybe 20 of you will be here next year or in the next 5 years, even less. He was like, realtors, so just get through it. And I was just like, that was so like, I was like, well, that's not me. I have a very, don't tell me I can't do something.
Right.
personality.
Exactly. That's it. That's what made it happen.
And that's what made it happen. Like I said, that's not going to be me. I will be here next year. I don't know how, but I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I did. I pushed through. The first year, it was, you think you get your license and everyone is going to say, I'm selling with you. I
Yes.
want to buy. I want you to help me.
That's right. You're going to have so many clients. At
No.
least that's what we think.
And as much as I love my family, I love them. I do.
Yeah.
But they were the most challenging ones. You would think that they would be the
Yes.
first ones trusting you. Some did, yes, some didn't. But they, they wanted to go with the realtors they knew or they were comfortable with. And you realize real quick that in real estate, it's not about your license, it's about relationships.
Yes.
People knowing.
And you're building those relationships.
And you got to build them. It doesn't come day one. It doesn't come
Right.
year one. It comes 2-3 years in with, people seeing you.
And the trust, because now you know this, right? At first, we get all bent out of shape and we're hurt because our family members, might trust somebody else. But everybody has time to build.
Yeah. I'm like, I could sell it. I could put my name. I could sign up. I don't know how to
I
do a
could do it.
contract, but I could do it. I'll figure it out. That's always my personality is very like, just I'll do it and I'll figure it out later. Like
Exactly.
And it was tough. It was really tough in the beginning because
Right.
I didn't want to. I'm an adult, and
Yeah.
here I am back to like, excuse me, can I ask you a question? Or
Right.
hey, can you help me? Not understanding why some realtors weren't getting back to me, or I'll help you, but then
Right.
2 weeks in and it was like crickets, just,
Uh-huh.
and it was like, geez,
So how
like,
did you get through that?
just I kept moving along. I kind of felt like down a river and just kind of moving around to see who I can find to help me.
Oh my God.
Connecting with people and seeing if they were kind of match my personality. I was very focused on finding people that really match my personality.
Oh, I love that.
And just people that really have good energy. Maybe not so much my personality, but my energy.
But your energy, yes.
Really, because I didn't really realize that until I got older that,
I know.
I guess
That's
I didn't
so
think
important.
about it. I was so sheltered for 15 years in my home, working overnights, being too tired to go out. If I went out, it was my kids. There was no friendship time. My friends know that they're still my friends today. And they were like, you come out now? I'm like, yeah, I come out now. Like,
And don't you feel like, I think people feel that you change and that there's a difference.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, for sure.
You have to.
Yeah, I feel like for 15 years, I kind of stayed the same, right? I was just kind of coasting along. And then the day that it happened, it's just been quickly just going straight up like a roller coaster. And not to sound like, conceited, but it's just really just,
Yeah.
everything was just moving upwards for me. And I just started thinking positive. And the minute I started thinking positive, more positivity flowed my way. The minute I started meeting people, I would see the good in them. They're good. I was connecting with.
Right. It was just mirror, right?
Yeah.
I love it. I love that you knew that you could do it, but you also knew that you had to go out and get the resources.
Resources was key. Like in the beginning, I started meeting other agents, right?
Right.
And I try to connect and become friends, but we quickly realized agents don't have much time unless we don't.
To guide you for everything.
Unless you have a business built like that,
Right.
which I've learned now,
Yeah.
But honestly, you're dealing with so many things in one day that there's not enough hours in a day, So I started quickly connecting with lenders who are now my friends.
Yes.
Title, which I have friends, and
I love it.
whoever I can ask a question to, I would just sit there and just ask them a million more.
So as you were looking for these resources and agents and anyone else did you have a strategy of how you were going to find these resources?
No, my strategy was the minute I met someone, if I felt like they weren't adding to my life or adding to my business, I just quickly moved left.
Okay. Hey.
That's it.
It is what it is.
No, nothing personal. I've really learned in this business that nothing personal is really nothing personal.
Wow. Yes.
It's just no other way about it. Because before, being younger, I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, but then in this business, if you keep
stopped apologizing, I love it.
I stopped apologizing and I started, realizing that there was a purpose. It wasn't to be mean. It wasn't anything, but kind of feels like I waited a little longer than I wanted to. And I know there's always a time.
It was at the right time, honey.
But I just feel like it's so exciting that I'm like, I even thought the other day, this thought keeps popping in my head, like, God, I wish I would have done it so much younger. And not because now is not a right time, but because I'm enjoying it so much. I just want so many more years of this.